Grand Rising, everybody. How you all doing? Welcome to Teach and Learn with your host, DJ Grace, Took Off Boss. How you all doing today? I hope everyone is doing fantastic. Happy Thursday. Please to share and please to invite. Today is going to be a very interesting day. We're going to be talking about the imagination, which is the secret of God. I'll be playing a clip as well as, so please to share. Neville Godward, the secrets of God. Pick up yourself, Jabliss. All I ask you to do is to give me your undivided attention for some time, and also to please share the live. Alright? Big up.
Heartly fire, bliss, soul representing. You know I can't done the team. Empire team, solution. Yeah, teach and learn. Teach and learn. Teach and learn. Information is not knowledge, no. Information is not knowledge, no. The only source of knowledge is experience. Experience. You need the experience to gain wisdom. Teach and learn. Teach and learn. We are the knowledge is found. Teach and learn. You have to know who you are. You have to know you are a star. No, yo. You have to know who you are. You have to know you are a star. Know yourself. Know yourself. Else you, the wicked, are the man. Oh gosh, know yourself. Teach and learn. You can know you are God conditioners, man. Like sea conditioner seed. Oh God. You have to know yourself. Else are you, the wicked are gonna man. Teach and learn. Teach and learn. Teach and learn. Hey, DJ Chris and a higher frequency. Kenny Pop and a higher frequency. Greg Goody Night Nurse and a higher frequency. Jabliss, higher frequency. Hey, teach and learn. Teach and learn. Already knowledge found. Hey, teach and learn.
Teach and Learn Morning Show with your host, DJ Grace. Come to share, like, and invite. This is a program that everyone learns from someone. Come with an open mind and the willingness to learn. Thank you.
Watching a man. You have to watch the frequency of vibrating on. Because anywhere the thoughts go, the energy flow. All frequency carry information. So be careful what information you receive. Because you don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. So be careful what you attract into yourself. You see what I say? Yes, imagination creates reality. Our mind is always creating. That's the divine intelligence working. The energy is always vibrating. That's the eye and soul of everything. Because of nature's will. Life will never stand still. Just know that, I am that I am. I am the cause of everything that is happening in my life. So you got to take accountability for everything. And so me I say, when them thoughts come in your mind, man, and you don't want them, just reject them and recreate. Because remember, say you are the creator, Watch it, man. Just apply these things to your life, and everything will be alright. A DJ Grace took off boss. Took off on them like fire rocket style.
Thank you. That is it, my people. Please to share. Big up everyone that is on the live, everyone on Facebook, and everyone on TikTok. Here we go. I'm waiting to listen to this clip. As I said, give me your undivided attention. Here we go. Who want to know the secret of God? Let's go.
The Secret of God, read by Josiah Brandt. To tonight's subject is the secret of imagining. That is really the secret of God. For God is man, and exists in us, and we in him. The eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself. So, when we speak of the secret of imagining, we are speaking of the secret of God. So, I will use the terms tonight in the order in which they are described in Scripture. The secret of imagining is the greatest of all problems, to the solution of which everyone should aspire. Now, these are the terms that Paul uses in his description of Christ in his first letter to the Corinthians. Supreme power, supreme wisdom, supreme delight lies in the solution of this mystery. For Paul describes Christ as the power of God and the wisdom of God. And the book of Proverbs describes Christ, called the Messiah there, as the delight of God. So, here the supreme power is the discovery of the great mystery of imagining. So, tonight, I hope I can add some light to this wonderful mystery. Because, if you find it, you have found the secret of God's creative activity. We are told of so many writers having experienced it. Take our late president, Herbert Hoover. He said, "Human history, in its many forms of government, its revolutions, its wars, and in fact, the rise and fall of nations, could be written in terms of the rise and fall of ideas implanted in the minds of men." Now, here is a man speaking who sat in our highest office in this world. If you could only control the imaginations of men, well, who could control it when that is God himself? You are free to imagine anything in this world, and no power in the world can stop it if you persist in that imaginal activity. But we are not disciplined. We are diverted. Propaganda controls the motions of our imaginal activity. You read the morning paper, you turn on the radio, you turn on the TV, and you are diverted. If you could only imagine the state desired, go to the very end, and dwell in the end as though it were true, and remain faithful to the end, in a way that no one knows, it would objectify itself in your world. For objective reality is solely produced through imagining. That is God himself. So, when I speak of imagining, I am speaking of the creative power of God. I am speaking of Christ. That is the creative power of God. That is the wisdom of God. That is the delight of God. Man, not knowing that, he thinks in terms of a person, not knowing that he himself is the person in whom God dwells. And he has to discover God within himself. When he discovers God within himself, he is still a person, but he discovers God as his own wonderful human imagination. That is God. And he discovers, if he observes what he is doing, that all of his imaginal activities do eventually become objective fact. But man's memory is so faulty, he can't quite relate his own imaginal activities to the harvest that he sees in his world, which he is compelled to reap. Here is a very so-called wise man, wise in the use of the English tongue. His books are almost in all of the universities of the world. I know they're in almost all the English libraries of the world. He's gone from this world now. I knew him quite well. He was a sheer delight as a dinner companion. He changed his opinion in later years, yes, but back in the 30s, when he wrote Ends and Means, this is what he said. And this is all an assumption. He said, I had motives for not wanting the world to have a meaning. Consequently, I assumed that it had none, and was able, without any difficulty, to find satisfying reasons for this assumption. He assumed it had none. Well, one night, I came out of the Wilshire Ebel Theatre, having given my lecture there, and I looked into the hills of Hollywood, and here the whole hill is aflame. Houses, how many? I think 40 burned that night. One of the 40 was Aldous' home. In it, he had these priceless manuscripts. He had manuscripts not published by D.H. Lawrence, that were given to him by Lawrence. He had his own manuscripts and a priceless library. Just lovely pieces of art that members of his family had done. He had so many intellectual giants in his family tree, both on the male side and the female side, and he fell heir to so many lovely things. Sculptures, paintings, and these wonderful manuscripts. Everything went right down to ash. Not one thing was saved but the suit on his back. So, he had motives for not wanting the world to have a meaning, and he consequently assumed that it had none. And then he had no difficulty in finding satisfying reasons for this assumption. That was planted, and then seemingly forgotten. But it was recorded in his book, written in the 30s, called Ends and Means. He went about his business changing his opinions from time to time, but that had come to fruition. For, be not deceived, says Paul. Whatever a man sows, that shall he also reap. Well, you sow with your imaginal activity. Whatever man is imagining, that is what he is sowing. And when the time is ripe for its fulfillment, it comes to pass. And all that he held so dear in the latter days of his life turned into ash. It had no meaning. The world had no meaning. To him, they were priceless then, and he intended to give them to one of our universities here on the West Coast, either USC or UCLA, for that's what he had told me. And then the whole thing collapsed. It all turned to ash. Our whole vast world is what we are imagining pushed out. And there's nothing but God, and God is your own wonderful human imagination. We are told in the book of John, he was in the world, and the world was made through him, yet the world knew him not. He came to his own home, and his own people received him not. But to all who received him, and who believed in his name, he gave power to become sons of God, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. Not a physical birth, not from the passion of God in flesh, but of God. God is your own wonderful human imagination. That is where the birth takes place, from above, out of your own skull, out of your own wonderful human imagination. Now, Jeremiah, which name means Jehovah will rise, in this passage, taken from the 18th chapter of Jeremiah, you will see that the Lord God Jehovah is your own wonderful human imagination. And the Lord said to me, this is Jeremiah speaking in a vision, and the Lord said unto me, arise, go down to the potter's house, and there I will let you hear my words. So I went down to the potter's house, and there he was, working at his wheel. And the vessel made of clay was spoiled in his hands. So he reworked it into another vessel, as it seemed good to the potter to do. translated potter in the concordance, the biblical concordance, is imagination. To form into a mold, to make a resolution, to determine. Now, in the book of Isaiah, the 64th chapter, O Lord, thou art our potter. We are the work of thy hands. The Lord is the potter. Now, if I go down to the potter, and the potter means imagination, where do I go to see the potter and see what he's doing? Do I not go into my imagination to see what I am doing? My resolutions, my determinations, what I have decided to make of myself. Being the Lord, and all things are possible to the Lord, do I have to conform to what is around me? Where I was born, my background, my social, intellectual, financial, or any other background? No. Not if all things are possible to God. And God is my imagination. So I will ask myself, what am I imagining concerning myself and concerning the things round about me? If I believe for one moment you are responsible for my well-being, I transfer the power that belongs to God, which is myself, to you. If I believe for one moment that you could stop me in my progress towards the fulfillment of my desire, then I transfer it to that which is not God. For God is my own wonderful human imagination. So, I will go down to the potter's house and see what he is doing. So I go down to the potter's house, and there he is, working at his wheel. And the vessel in his hands was spoiled. The concept that I hold of myself is not that which I would like to be. It is spoiled. So, I don't throw it away. I don't commit suicide. I don't discard myself. I rework the vessel. The very vessel that I held in my hand. I rework it into an entirely different form that I resolve to be. The man that I want to be, that man, now I assume that I am. And so, having assumed that I have it, I remain faithful to my assumption. And my assumption, in a way that no one knows, eventually objectifies itself and becomes an external fact in my life. The world will say, how lucky he is. How lucky. Not knowing that imagination, who is God, and faith are the stuff out of which the whole vast world is made. So, in my imagination, I simply assume that I am the man that I want to be. Having assumed it, I remain faithful to my assumption, knowing that the assumption, though false at the moment that I made the assumption, for it was denied by my senses, denied by reason, but if I persist in the assumption, it will harden into fact, in a way that no one knows. I do not have to work out the means. It simply happens, because the whole vast world is myself pushed out. And anyone who can aid the birth of that assumption will be compelled to aid the birth of that assumption. I don't need to pull them one by one and say, you play this part and you play that part. They all have to play the part that they must play to bring to birth that which I have assumed that I am. Or, for that matter, assume that another one is. If I so love another to be concerned and wish for that other something noble in this world, I do for the other what I am doing for myself. Because it is myself only pushed out. That's all. For the whole vast world is within me. Only the imagination of man is vast enough to contain the immensity of space. Now, we are told in Scripture, "For wherever the sole of your foot shall tread, the same I have given to you." Listen to the tense. You haven't entered the state as yet, but before you enter the state, it was already given. You have to go and appropriate it. It's already given, for eternity exists, and all things in eternity, independent of creation, which was an act of mercy. So, the whole vast world of good and evil exists. So I do not consider either the just or the wicked to be in supreme states, but to be, every one of them, states into which the soul may fall in its dreams of good and evil. So it doesn't really know what it's doing. It falls into these by reading the paper. It falls into that by turning on the radio. It falls into this by listening to something else, or a rumor, or a friend bringing some news, and so it is moved from one state into another state. It may be a good state or an evil state, but imagination, may I tell you, waits upon us as indifferently and as swiftly when the will in us is evil as when it is good. I create the good and evil. Listen to these words taken from Deuteronomy. I, even I, am He. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal, and there is no God beside me. I know not any, and none can deliver out of my hand. Read it in the 32nd of Deuteronomy. I think you'll find it in the 39th verse. Here there is nothing but God, and God is your own wonderful human imagination. Now, you're told, test me and see. Do you not realize that Jesus Christ is in you? Unless, of course, you fail to meet the test. Read it in the 13th of 2 Corinthians, the 5th verse. Jesus Christ is in you. And who is Jesus Christ? He is defined as the power of God and the wisdom of God. That in 1 Corinthians, 1st chapter, the 24th verse. There you will find the power of God is imagining. Imagination is God. God in action is Christ. And Christ is your own being, imagining. So, what are you imagining? It is going to come to pass. Let no one tell you that it will not. It will come to pass if you persist in the imaginal act. Everything in this world is God made visible, and God is your own wonderful human imagination. That is God. So, God is man, and exists in us, and we in him. The eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself. So, in you dwells the creative power of God, which is imagining, and you cannot stop it. Whether you wake in this world or sleep tonight, you are imagining. The whole thing is simply all taking place within you. And the day will come that you will awake to the fact that you are God the Father. You, who seem so little in this world, so insignificant. One day you will awake to know who you really are. And you are God the Father. And as God the Father, you must have a son. And
Big up to everyone on the live, everyone on the TikTok, and everyone on the Facebook. God is your imagination. the divine, intelligent energy source, which is the eye and soul of all things. Your power tool, your imagination, that's your God, the divine. I love when he break down this bit, when he says, every thought is a seed. So you have to know what seed are you planting. Those thoughts, when they are in your mind, when those thoughts come, those thoughts represent the seed that you're planting. Those thoughts that you meditate upon, do you want them to come in your reality? Do you want them thoughts to manifest? If you don't want them to, then do not plant it. Whether it's have to do with you, I, or anything, make sure that the thoughts that you're planting is pure, it's good, and is the result that you would want. Because if it's all mental and God is the imagination, and whatever seed you may plant, whether it's good or bad, good thoughts or bad thoughts, then look at it now. You know, them good thoughts would represent the devil, right? Sorry, you know, them bad thoughts would represent the devil, right? Because when we talk about good, we say, okay, good is coming from God. When we talk about bad and we do bad stuff, we say the devil, let us do it. But really, is we do it. We are the one that is in control. And remember, everything is mental and it starts from the thought. So everything that we do in our life, whether it's good or bad, that's we taking on God or the devil, because we making it happen, whether it's good or it's bad. Every single thing. So we don't need to blame anybody for anything, right? Because we are the creator. We are the creator of every single thing that happened in our life. At some point in time, we did create it. Whether it's good or it's bad. So that's why I say, be careful. Make sure you monitor them thoughts when they come in your mind, because when you send out that signal in a man, when you there meditating upon them thoughts, you embody them thought, send out that signal, it's not coming back to you void. When you plant a seed, expect a tree to start shooting up from the earth at some point. You get what me I say? And it's not the same time you plant that seed, you're going to pick from that tree. But remember that you planted that seed. So at some point, a tree is going to come and you're going to reap from that tree, right? So the same thing with your thoughts. Your thoughts represent the seed as well. So you have to be careful what are you planting. Because you are God. The divine, intelligent energy source, which is the eye and the soul of all things, work through you. This body is just the house. Yeah, it's just the temple that the divine work through. You get what I'm saying? This body is just the temple that the divine work through. You are God. You are in control. So you are the one that uses God, because remember now, God is the imagination, right? So you are the one that uses God. So What you want God to manifest in your life, good or bad? Because when bad come, we blame the devil, and when good happen, we give God the praise. Not true. So what do you want to use your power tool to create? Now that you know that, wow, I am the creator. I am in control. I have the power to create whatever I want to create. And if I create something and I'm not happy about what I created, I want to change it, I have the power to do so. How powerful that is. For you to know that I am in control. I can rearrange, I can change, I can build, I can rebuild. Just by using my power tool, my imagination, my thoughts. There's a lot of things that I have created that I don't like. And I just go back and recreate. Simple as that. Remember, everything you see out is a product of in. Everything you can see with the physical eyes, we were there before. It was all in the imagination, innit? It was all in the imagination. Everything that you can see. Objective, the product. I'm telling you, it was once it was once an imagination. The wife that you're with today, the husband that you're with today, you created that husband. You attracted that husband, that wife. At some point, you probably ask God and you use your imagination and visualize the person that you want to be with. And you end up with that person. When that person, you may be looking at that person right now after some years and say, boy, this person is not what I really want. But that person that you're with is you created that person. That person is what you asked for. So what you have to do, you have to go back to the drawing board. And this time when you're going to create the person that you want, don't put any condition on it. You're going to say, I want someone, I want a whole. That person must has everything and has up and has all the criteria. Don't just condition it like, say, for example, you're looking for a wife. She must can cook, she must can clean and take care of the kids and, make sure the home is okay. And then you get that woman and maybe for a couple months you're happy, and then you realize that that woman, I cannot communicate with her. She don't listen. She's stubborn. You get what I say? It's that type of woman that I cannot communicate with. She's not understanding. And you're saying like, what happened? She has changed. It's not changed, she has changed. But what you really ask for and it presents itself to you, that is what you see first. Okay, she can cook, she can clean, she can take care of the kids. But her true self is going to come out who she is. So what you have to do now, if that person is someone that you want to stay with, you have to go back in the imagination now and then imagine that person bringing out everything that you want in that person. That's if you want to be with that person. Because some people, them have good qualities and you can live with them. But you love for some other qualities to come out of that person. Those persons are a person you would want to live with. So if you want to be with that person, you can go back in your imagination and see that person. Everything with them lack off that you want them to have. You can just imagine that person being that person and a whole that you like. And if you don't want to be with that person, just go back and create someone else that have all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's your choice. Is your choice. And then you're going to realize that if you want to be with that same person, you're going to realize that that person now some things start coming out of that person. You never used to say that person start communicating with you and you're like, boy, what's going on with this person? This person I communicate, this person I listen when I talk to them. Oh, this person is being understanding and everything. Because when you go in and do that inner work, you get me? When you go in your imagination and do that inner work, that person is going to also go within themselves and do that inner work. You understand? That person is going to go within themselves and do that inner work. Grand rising to you, the sun. So it's all upon you though. What do you really, really, really want? Because it's all mental. It's all mental. Your imagination is what creates reality, and that's you putting God at work. That's you putting God at the test. Yeah? That's why I say all things are possible for those who believe. You get what I'm saying? All things are possible for those who believe. And if your faith is small as a mustard seed, you can move mountain. Because there's nothing that God can do that's simple telling you that whatever the mind believe it can conceive. Because the imagination, it has no limit. So whatever you want God to do, use your imagination to create that, what you want God to do. So there is no limit. It's all depending on you. You are the creator. You can create and you can recreate. Yes. Imagination creates reality. Yeah? God is your human imagination, so use it up. That is your power tool. And as you hear the clip a while ago, that is why they give us so much things to distract us, keeping us keeping us from going within. You understand? They have so much things to distract us, to keep us from going within. Because if you are a person that always go within, I'm telling you, that's you connecting with your inner self, the divine. So use up your power tool, man, your imagination. And make sure that whatever seed you're planting, man, just make sure those seeds you're planting are seeds that is going to be beneficial to you, other people, the next generation. Because this bit I want to point out as well. Be careful what you're sending out. Be careful what you're causing others to do. Especially if you're someone that has the knowledge and you understand how the mind work. Yeah? Be careful what you're causing other people to do, especially if they don't know. You know that saying that God protect babes and fools? That's like you that has the knowledge that some people don't have. Yeah? That's you that have the knowledge that some people don't have. So you have to be careful what you are sending to certain people who don't understand what they're doing. For example, for those who don't understand what I'm saying, I'm going to use the music for example. When you're sending out a message in the music, make sure it is positive music, uplifting music. For example, you know that those music that they talk about killing people and all of them something there, it's not good for sending out. Yeah? Because when the receiver is receiving it, when your subconscious mind is receiving those type of message. Your sub don't know, say, okay, I'm not supposed to receive this. It's bad. It's just like the earth. If you plant a seed, whatever seed you plant, the earth is going to take it in. Whether it's a GMO seed or it's an organic seed, the earth is going to take it in and it's going to give you back a fruit. So be careful what you're sending out. That is why you have the young people right now, they are acting up on these music. Them just hear the music, take it on. Some of them are not bad boys, you know. Some of them not carrying a gun, you know. But the music, the message that them receive, it make them feel like they are supposed to be doing that. It make them feel some type of way because it's all energy, you know. You get what I say? But those people, let me tell you something, for those youngsters who don't even understand, I'm saying not all of them into badness, them don't understand, but you say, who know better? And I do the music, I say, boy, I know say it not right, but me have to eat a food and them kind of music I take the market or whatever. You are going to pay the penalty for it. Because God's supposed to protect the babes and the fools. That you right there. So that's your responsibility. So you can't send something out. You have to be careful what you're doing. Yeah? So, just remember, say, all of who doing those type of music and the result of what is going on in the world right now, everybody who is doing that kind of music has a contribution in that. There has a contribution in that. Every single body that is putting out these things and causing this animosity to go on, all of us who doing these things, we are the cause of the problem. We are the cause. So in order for us to solve the problem, we have to stop from doing what we are doing. And a lot of us know better, you know. A lot of us know better. But as I said before, various reasons why we do what we do in it. Various reasons why we do what we do. Some of us may say that we have to do what we do because we have to make two ends meet or whatever, maybe peer pressure at the end of the day. But just remember, what you put out, you're going to get back. Yeah, when you plant, you are going to reap. I know it's not easy, but it's better to take the right path. I'm telling you. It's better to take the right path. Because most of the time we do stuff and it don't come back only at us. It come back at our loved ones. Innocent people. Yeah. Innocent people sometimes because of our action. Sometimes them lose them life and them end up paying some of the penalty of the cause. Some of the things that we cause, them end up pay the penalty for it. So we have to be careful what we're sending out. So that is why too, for those who know that them have to keep the vibration high, the frequency high, the meditation high. Because we have some people that run us. We have some friends. We have some family member that, boy, them vibration low. Them always negative. Them thought always negative. And them send out wrong signals, negative energy. And what you send out is coming back. And remember, you are in the circle of these people. You are close to these people. So that's why you have to keep your vibration high. Yeah? Keep your vibration high. So these are some things that you have to really think about. Yeah? Because the seed that our ancestors plant, we reaping today. Some of them are bad and some of them are good. We are reaping today. So you have to consider your action, you have to consider your thought and the things that you do. Yeah? Because it does affect others around you. It affects your children. It affects you. So think about everything that you're doing before you actually do it. Because to every action, there is a reaction. So think about what you're doing, every single thing. First of all, start with your thoughts. When those thoughts come in your mind, yeah, ask yourself, am I supposed to be thinking about this? If I'm thinking about this and, meditate upon this thought and embody this thought, and boy, do I want this in my reality though? Do I really want this? No, I don't. Get that out. Get it out. It starts in the mind. Yeah? When you're walking, even the mind, you see yourself taking a step, a right step, then a left step, then a right step. Yeah? Start in the mind when you have to stop. Start in the mind if your back has scratched you scratch your back. It starts in the mind. If you want to move your thumb finger, you move your thumb finger. If you want to move your pinky finger, you move your pinky finger. Everything starts in the mind. So start in the mind before you act. So make sure, say, them thoughts, when they come in your mind, you're pure and righteous thoughts. Pure and righteous thoughts. Okay? Big up on yourself. Everyone on Facebook Live. Everyone on TikTok. Let me play this song.
Living life, I mean, upful, ever clean. Hey, all you think and all you feel, create your state of being. Hey, all you think and all you feel, create your state of being. Hey, whenever you say I am, you're commanding your mind and your body into a destiny. Hey, so we say 99 and a half won't do. 99 and a half won't do. Hey, it have to be 100. It have to be 100. It have to be 100. Hey, 99 and a half won't do. It have to be 100. It have to be 100. Hey, taught all the language of the brain and feeling, all the language of the body. Taught create an electrical charge in the spiritual field, and feeling create a magnetic charge. The thought send the signal out, and the feeling bring it back. I am not here to do, I'm here to be. 99 and a half won't do. No, it won't do.
It won't do. So it gotta be 100. Can't treat the grind, right? Jobless, it gotta be 100. So that one is by Jobless. Check out the highest frequency album out there and all digital platform by Jobless. Big up Jobless on the TikTok.
It's your girl DJ Grace, the Cough Boss. Did you know that attitude is a product of belief? Attitude comes from your belief system. Change the way how you look at things, and things in your life will start to change. Everything I want, I go within. To be sure about it, I go in. If I go external, nothing will happen. Everything I want is in. What's outside is a product of in. To be sure about it, I go in. If I go external, nothing will happen. Everything I want is in. Any money, find this, me a bet. If someone who don't change your mindset, things down the life, start reset. When you get the information, apply the application. That's the way to accomplish the mission. But someone who don't like now go change. Cause who not wait for a guy to stretch him man from die range. Everything I want, I go within. To be sure about it, I go in. If I go external, nothing will happen. Everything I want is in. What's outside is a product of in. To be sure about it, I go in. If I go external, nothing will happen. Everything I want is in. The rich say them rich, but them suffering. Them eating every day, but them starving. Say them living, but them dying. For righteousness, them longing. Always deny the truth to them fooling. Our beginning, no forget them schooling. All of them system, they come ruling. Wake up, me people, it's the great grand rising. Everything I want, I go within. To be sure about it, I go in.
Everything you want is within. To be sure about it, you gotta go in. Grand Rising, Black Hole. Yeah? So remember, the seed you sow with your imaginary thoughts of activity, what you imagine, that is what you are sowing. And when the time is right for its fulfillment, it will manifest in your life. So make sure of what you are creating, that is what you want in your reality. Because everything will manifest in its divine timing. God is your human imagination, the secret of God. All right? So, big up on yourself, each and every one. Thanks for your undivided attention. This bit of information that you receive, don't just leave here the same you came. Do the necessary application. Put the practice in. Practice until you get it. You understand me? Be peaceful. Show love, kindness, meekness to everyone you come across. You understand? But first you have to be that with yourself, right? Because you can't give what you don't have. So find that from within you and become one with that so you can share. So you can be sending out that kind of energy out there. You understand me? Make sure those are the energy you should be sending out, those vibrations. Okay? So big up on yourself. Have a peaceful, a productive day. Be good, be kind to self and to everyone. You understand? Don't entertain and waste your energy and things that has no substance. Get what I say? Don't pour your energy in place where you're not going to get back anything. Come on, my people, think about it. Start be around people that, uplifting, encouraging, motivating, want to see you smile, want to see you happy, people who are loving and caring and peaceful. You get what I'm saying? Be around these kind of people. Don't be around people who is always sad and miserable and they complain about everything. You understand me? Don't be around people every day they get up, they talk about news, they see this on the news, they spreading the propaganda. You get what I'm saying? They don't go inside for anything at all. They're always following everything outside. They don't go within for nothing at all. Those people can't help you. They can't even solve the problem for themselves, so they will never be able to help you. Get what I'm saying? Yes. So whatever you're doing, just be wise. And how you're going to be wise is all these knowledge that you retain right now, put them to use, apply them so you can act from that place of wisdom. Okay? Big